Evolutionarily speaking, if you failed, well, a saber-toothed tiger ate you.
Right.
But today, we aren't really running from predators anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But when you accidentally hit reply all on some disastrous email, your brain still completely panicked.
It dumps cortisol into your bloodstream like you're literally about to be devoured. Anyway, welcome to this deep dive into a text called The Failure Paradox. Our mission today is uncovering why embracing absolute, undeniable failure is actually a fundamental biological law of growth. Okay, let's unpack this because there is a serious biological mismatch happening here.
Oh, absolutely. Our nervous system literally treats a rejected job application like a physical threat to our survival, which is wild.
It's so wild.
But, knowing our biology makes us panic doesn't really explain how we actually learn from those mistakes. There was this neuroplasticity study out of Michigan State University that looked at exactly what happens in our brains when we push through that initial terror.
Right, so what did they actually find?
They found two primary brain signals that fire when you make an error. So the first is the error-related negativity, or ERN. It's basically your immediate oh crap signal.
Yeah, the initial spike of panic we all know so well, but what happens after the panic?
Well, that's where the second signal comes in. It's called the error positivity, or P. Think of it as the let's fix this response. The researchers discovered that people with a growth mindset generate a massive P signal.
Oh, wow. So they don't just shut down.
Exactly. Instead of shutting down, their brains actively allocate cognitive resources to that specific neural pathway. They want to figure out what went wrong and prevent it from happening again.
That's amazing. They're literally rewiring themselves to bridge the gap between intention and action.
Right. Yeah, it's a physical change.
The source actually compares this process to lifting weights. Like, your muscles suffer micro tears so they can grow back denser. And I mean, that makes perfect sense for a small typo or a minor misstep. But I have to push back here a little bit.
Okay, go for it.
Well, a micro tear is one thing. But what happens when you completely bomb? Say your business goes bankrupt or you get violently fired. That is not a micro tear. That's a compound fracture,
Yeah, that's a very fair point. What's fascinating here is the mechanism behind a psychological concept called the region beta paradox. It turns out we actually recover faster from intense catastrophic failures than we do from mild low-grade mediocrity.
Wait, really? That sounds completely counterintuitive. Are you saying I'm psychologically better off getting spectacularly fired today than just sitting comfortably in a job I hate for the next 5 years?
Yes, actually. Because massive failures trigger a sort of psychological immune response. The pain of hitting rock bottom, which the source calls the golden gutter, is so acute that your brain is forced to deploy rapid, drastic coping strategies.
Oh, I see. Whereas a mat relationship or a boring job doesn't cross that activation threshold.
Precisely. So you might just stay stuck in it for decades. The catastrophic fail shatters that equilibrium and basically forces you to evolve.
Here's where it gets really interesting. When you look at the scrap heaps of famous innovators, you see that massive failure isn't just an accident, it's an actual requirement.
Oh, absolutely. History is full of them.
Right, like James Dyson built 5,126 failed vacuum prototypes. At one point, he engineered a machine that literally screamed like a banshee.
A screaming vacuum. Yeah, that's quite the failure.
Or look at Thomas Edison. Before he nailed high-fidelity audio, he tried putting miniature phonographs into dolls. And they sounded like whispering demons, just terrifying flops.
That is so creepy.
So creepy. But the data he gathered from those terrifying flops is exactly what refined the diaphragm technology that ended up revolutionizing audio.
Yeah, and psychologists Tedeschi and Calhoun actually have a term for that mechanism. They call it post-traumatic growth. People who endure the psychological struggle of a massive failure often develop a higher baseline of functioning than they had before the event.
So they actually end up better off.
Right. It lines perfectly with Nassim Taleb's concept of being anti-fragile. You don't just endure stress like a robust object resisting a shock. You actually require the shock to get stronger.
Because just winning makes you complacent, I guess.
Exactly. Failure provides the necessary data to become anti-fragile.
So what does this all mean? How can you, the listener, apply this anti-fragility right now?
Well, the text introduces the failure wallet paradigm.
Oh yeah, the failure wallet. Most of us try to keep our failure wallet completely empty, assuming zero mistakes means we're performing perfectly.
Right, but instead you need to view failure as acquiring actionable data. You want to start collecting failure coins by leaning into the difficult, awkward phases of learning.
Yeah, so every time you bomb a project, you're buying actionable data on what not to do next time. You're trading those coins for experience points.
I love that framing.
It's great. And this raises an important question. If you aren't failing at least once a week, are you actually playing a big enough game? That is such a good point. Consider this, if our brains are biologically wired to learn more from severe failure than from easy success, what does that say about how we test and grade kids in school? Are we penalizing the exact mechanism that causes human growth? Just something to think about the next time you're terrified of making a mistake.